Golf, kite flying, trips to the zoo, and much, much more. For a Goddard summer your children will never forget. Call 1-800-GODDARD now.
The Moneyline News Hour, weeknight 6:30 Eastern. You are what you know.
Tonight, your aching back and what to do about it. We'll hear from people who felt the pain and found help. Joining us, popular broadcast personality Howard Stern, famed defense attorney Robert Shapiro, comedy producer for The Rosie O'Donnell Show, Jeanette Barber, plus Dr. John Sarno, best-selling author of Healing Back Pain, The Mind-Body Connection, and spinal surgeon Dr. Patrick O'Leary. They're all next on Larry King Live. Good evening. Our entire program tonight devoted to back pain. Howard Stern is with us by phone. He is fighting laryngitis, but bravely carrying on in the tradition of great broadcasters. The show must go on. Our guests, we'll meet them each individually, some tin-type questions for each, and then a roundtable discussion. Dr. John Sarno is professor of clinical rehabilitation medicine at New York University. He's author of Healing Back Pain, The Mind-Body Connection, published in 1991 by Warner Books. It'll be #2 on the New York Times bestseller list in the self-help category on August 15th. He's also author of The Mind-Body Prescription, Healing the Body, Healing the Pain, published just last year by Warner Books. There you see both books. Some individual questions for each guest. Dr. Sarno, what got you interested in the back as a life's work?
Actually, it was a matter of having been exposed to a lot of patients with back pain. When I became the director of the outpatient department at the Howard Rusk Institute of Rehabilitation Medicine. Before that, I hadn't seen very many people with back pain, but then that position put me in the position of seeing a lot of patients, and that's how I got into this work.
What is your specialty then?
My specialty is rehabilitation medicine, or physical medicine and rehabilitation. It's a relatively new specialty in medicine. Actually came into its own after World War II.
Dealing with people who get better after constructive surgery or whatever?
Actually dealing with people with a variety of very, very serious problems. Spinal cord injuries, for example, with paraplegia or quadriplegia, patients with strokes, patients with amputations, all the heavy stuff.
Yeah, Dr. O'Leary, why did you choose spine surgery?
Well, when I finished my residency training at the Hospital for Special Surgery, Dr. Wilson there told me that if I wanted to come back to the hospital, I had to do either spine or tumors or feet. So I picked spine. I thought it was a more interesting topic. Also, it was less well known at the time, and I thought it would be a good challenge to get involved in that area.
Do you believe in the theory that the spine is connected with many body problems?
Yes, I do.
More than just back problems?
Meaning what, exactly?
Well, you know, I guess the field of chiropractic thinks the spine is connected to almost everything.
Well, I mean, everything is interconnected. All systems are interconnected, but I think the spine is its own unique organ system, but it's interrelated with the brain and with the heart and with the muscles.
Howard Stern is with us by phone. How you feeling, by the way?
I'm doing all right, Larry. I was anxious to come on the show because I love Dr. Sarno so much and what he has done for me that I was, under any conditions, I would appear because his message and what he has to say is so brilliant that I feel that I should get on, even with laryngitis, and support him.
Now, you dedicated, when you wrote Private Parts, your bestseller, to your parents and your wife, and also to Dr. Sarno. So what did he do? What was wrong with you?
Well, Dr. Sarno saved me from a life of pain. I had such tremendous back pain for years that even during my radio show, I would lay down on the floor. And when commercials were playing, I would lay down on the floor trying to somehow alleviate the pain in my back. And it was just near impossible. Life was becoming so painful because of this constant back pain and shoulder pain. That's why I originally went to him. And I had been through the usual course. I had been through, you know, going to chiropractors. I tried every kind of alternative therapy. I went to doctors. I had one doctor told me that I had a genetic defect in my shoulder and that I would need surgery. So I was at my wit's end.
Mm. Did it start young, by the way? Did it start early, Howard?
Yeah, well, it had been going on for years, and I found that I had friends who were going under similar problems. You know, I had a friend who used to walk around with a big rubber pillow, and his wife was annoyed by him because he had constant back pain. And I ran into him a couple of months later after I had seen him, and he was pain-free, and he said he read Dr. Sarno's book. And I said, well, that worked for you, but it'll never work for me. I have real pain. I have pain from lifting weights. I have pain because I'm 6'5", and, you know, I was convinced my pain was some sort of physical defect, when in fact it was the mind that was controlling my back.
And was it the book, or you became a patient?
I went to see Dr. Sarno. I read the book, and I became curious, and I went to see him, and he quite simply looked at me and said, my friend, the pain is in your head. I said, no, Dr. Sarno, you don't understand. My pain is real. He goes, yes, your pain is real. And he explained to me the biological occurrence, that my brain actually would cut off some of the blood to the area of my back. The vessels would constrict and cause this pain. After he explained it to me, I went to 2 seminars. They were an hour lecture apiece. I was in a room full of people who were all squirming, all had back pain. When we got done, our back pain lifted. Some of us immediately, some of us a week or 2 later.
How long you been pain-free?
5 or 6 years. It's a miracle, and anybody can do it.
We'll get back to you. Robert Shapiro, what is your back problem?
I have 2, Larry. I have 2 discs that are degenerative in my back, and 2 also in my neck. My neck is from a sports injury. My back is probably just genetic.
And how is it treated?
I have a terrific doctor here, Dr. Ted Goldstein, who took a very conservative approach, first with anti-inflammatories to release some of the immediate pain, and then with a basic change in lifestyle. Simple things, the way I get in and out of bed, the way I get in and out of a car, not talking on a telephone unless I'm using a headset. Simple things, along with exercise in his rehabilitation program. I do a lot of crunches. I do a lot of stretches.
Do you do anything connected with the psychological, as Dr. Sarno and Howard have discussed?
No, I haven't.
What do you make of that?
I think it is for real. I think that so many things are connected from our brain, from our emotion. I know for me, the biggest trigger point I have to my own health is stress.
Well, you do know that?
I know that without a question.
We'll take a break.
Brings on pain.
We'll get Jeanette's story. We'll get the thoughts of Dr. O'Leary, more of the Sarno theory, and more from Howard Stern, and your phone calls as well. Don't go away.
Larry King is brought to you by Post-it Notes. What did you ever do without them?
Post-it pop-up notes pop up one at a time from the new dispenser. Now you'll always know where your Post-it notes are. So you won't go nuts looking for nuts. Post-it pop-up notes. What did you ever do without them? Another 3M innovation.
Now that we have a plan.
What can we afford?
If I retire at, say, 65.
Sorry? No, 55.
That's all right.
Oh, 62.
Now, if Kevin goes Ivy League, let's look at junior college.
Honey, if he gets into an Ivy League, it's going Ivy League.
You're right.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's see it again. And buying the vineyard in Tuscany.
Ooh.
Vacation in Tuscany.
Yeah. That's nice.
I like that.
No matter what you want to achieve, we can help. Ask Merrill Lynch.
What kind of rooms you got?
King size.
You got room service?
Donuts and coffee.
Got entertainment?
All rooms have every movie ever made in every language, anytime, day or night.
How is that possible?
Could your business use the bandwidth to change everything? Ride the light. Quest.
Do you want to stop by Dave's after the movie?
Would you put your life on the line to change a flat? Each year, nearly 3,000 people die in roadside accidents. It's better to risk your rim than risk your life. Drive slowly to a safer area. Never attempt repairs on a narrow shoulder.
I'm okay.
For more safety tips, get this free book from Shell. Count on Shell.
Jeanette Barber is a comedy producer and writer for The Rosie O'Donnell Show. What's wrong? What was wrong with you?
My ankles. I had in both ankles, it started in August of '95, and it was diagnosed as posterior tibialis tendinitis.
Meaning?
Meaning tendinitis in the ankles. And
Both of them?
Both of them.
So you couldn't walk?
Well, at first I could. It was just, you know, painful, and I would like shuffle. For 2 solid years, I wrapped my ankles very tightly in ace bandages every day just to be able to walk. I used a wheelchair for the first time in '97 when the show went to Los Angeles because there was too much walking. Then I would come back. I finally, as of last summer, was in a wheelchair completely.
Did your back get hurt too?
I hurt my back actually years ago in '85, and after I met Dr. Sarno, I realized that coincidentally, when my ankles began hurting, my back stopped hurting. But I never would have made that connection. I just thought my back got better.
What did Sarno do for you?
It's very much the same thing. I was in a state of literally...
Like Howard?
Like Howard.
Pain.
I could not walk at all. I would cry every single day. Just before, about 2 weeks before Rosie put me on the show, which is how I found Dr. Sarno, to see, because a doctor told me, he didn't say you'll never walk again. What he said exactly was, I'm pessimistic about any recovery. And when I said, well, what should I do? He said, looks like you've tried everything. And then he told me which hallway to go down to pay. So yeah, I was totally desperate about this. When I went to Dr. Sarno, it was the same thing. He talked to me. He does like an examination to make sure that it's what he thinks it is, and he told me that this is what stress can do.
Did you read his book too?
I read his book too.
Did you do the seminar like Howard
I did the seminar, and I had exactly the same.
And you're pain-free?
I am pain-free. I wouldn't say that mine will occasionally come back. That's which is it's very interesting under extreme stress.
And you were in Kosovo last year?
I was in Kosovo I was in Kosovo about 3 weeks ago, and which was I volunteer with an organization called AmeriCares. It's a relief organization.
So 2 years ago, you would have never bet you'd have
Exactly. I couldn't walk at all. This summer, as we're delivering food up the side of a mountain in Kosovo, and I'm able to run up following the little AmeriCares van, and literally in my head, I couldn't get these 2 images away from myself, that a year ago I couldn't walk, and this year I can actually do something with my life that matters.
Dr. Sarno,
without him, I couldn't have done it.
Dr. Sarno, what is TMS?
It stands for tension myositis syndrome. Actually,
did you invent the term?
Yeah, I did. If I were putting a name on it now, it would be somewhat different, because at the time, back in the early 70s, I thought that we were dealing only with a problem involving the muscles. As time went on, we began to realize it could involve muscles and nerves, and as in Jeanette's case, tendons as well.
So what do you call it now?
Well, we're stuck with the title because it's been used in all my publications. So, but you know what Shakespeare said about roses, you know, a rose by any. So,
can you explain briefly, and again, without being too medical,
well, as
to the lay audience, what it is you do?
Okay. I was going to say, you want the simple explanation or the complicated one? You want the simple one.
Simple.
Actually, really what's involved here is that tension, stress, trying to do things well in our lives can produce internal reactions in the unconscious mind that we're totally unaware of. But the unconscious mind is quite frightened of them. We actually get very, very angry inside to the point of rage. And the thing you must understand is that this is universal. We're all doing this to a greater or lesser extent. And there are many, many different kinds of physical reactions that one can have. At the moment, these pain disorders are of literally epidemic proportions in the United States. And so what the brain does is to create symptomatology in order to sort of draw your attention away from what's going on inside and make sure that that anger doesn't come out.
So are you saying end the anger, end the pain?
You don't end the anger, you simply make the people who've got this aware of what's going on. This is an example of the power of knowledge, the power of information, the power of insight. And that's what I do with my patients, as they've indicated. I lecture to them, I talk to them, I get them to understand what's going on, and fortunately for all of us, this has a therapeutic effect.
Dr. O'Leary, what do you make of it?
I think it's wonderful that he can help so many people. I think that there is a huge spectrum of people with all sorts of different disorders, and I think the vast majority of spine problems are and should remain non-surgical. My area is the tip of the iceberg. He's got the whole iceberg, basically, for himself.
So you're not here in conflict with him.
No.
You're just saying that in many, or in some cases, it goes beyond just control by mind or dealing with anger.
For certain issues, strokes must arbitrate, like Shakespeare said, a quote to the Rose Man here. But there are certain cases that absolutely need surgery. There are certain cases where surgery is a good alternative treatment, certain cases where surgery is urgent, and certain where it's elective. But most patients who contact you for back pain problems are best off screened first by a neurologist or a physiatrist who understands the principles and directs them appropriately for care and management. Only those who fail to respond to conservative treatment or who have some acute process, those then come for surgery.
We don't know why, do we, doctor, that John gets back pain and Jim doesn't?
We do not, that's true.
Okay. Howard, can you describe what severe back pain is like?
Well, first of all, I wanted to say to Bob Shapiro that, you know, listening to his story, how he's limiting himself by talking on the phone a certain amount of hours and only doing certain kinds of movements, and he has to exercise. I really suggest he reads Dr. Sarno's book, because those are the kinds of things that I was doing. You know, you start to believe that it's something that you're doing is causing this back pain. And as Dr. Sarno points out, 99% of these surgeries are absolutely unnecessary. People are doing things to their back and going through hell for absolutely no reason. The pain I was in was so discomforting and so horrible that literally I would spend my weekends laying on my back in front of the television set. And in a way, what it really is our own version of the nervous breakdown. I know for myself, I would always be too proud to cry or scream about my problems, so what I did was I internalized them. Now I understand it. This way, when I was laying on my back, my wife couldn't bother me, my kids couldn't bother me, everybody felt bad for me. Oh, poor Howard, he's in bad shape. And this was my way of tuning out the world.
And did lying on the back relieve the pain?
Absolutely not. There was no relief, and it got so bad that at some point it started to disturb my sleep. So when I met Dr. Sarno, literally, not only did it heal my back pain and my shoulder pain, I had been diagnosed with something called frozen shoulder, and all these diagnoses lead you to the physical therapist and hours of physical therapy. And when Dr. Sarno explained what was going on biologically and how my brain was causing this constriction of the blood vessels, it immediately connected for me. The pain lifted miraculously, Larry. I mean, in one fell swoop, I was pain-free for the rest of my life.
Incredible. We'll be back with more, and I'm going to get Bob Shapiro to comment on what Howard said. We'll be taking your calls as well. It's our subject for the full hour. Don't go away.
You can physically walk, but it's literally unbearable, and most of the times you have ice packets on your ankles.
Yes.
And sadly, we at the office find this a cause for ridicule sometimes.
Well, not only that, I ride to work through Central Park in this.
In the buggy. All right. Now, the one doctor told you that there was no hope for recovery?
Yeah, a few weeks ago, the last doctor I went to said that, quote, he was pessimistic about any recovery, and that, you know, get used to it, which I didn't like.
Okay, now, since it's Jeanette's, I said, what do you want for your birthday? She said, I want my ankles to be better. So this is what we're trying to do. Anyone out there who knows how to fix tendinitis so that Jeanette Barber can walk and get out of the wheelie cart, please call our show. Fix Jeanette, write us a little letter.
The girls and I always have fun together, but on Wednesdays, we ball. My prescription medicines keep me active. My retirement plan has prescription drug coverage, but what about seniors who don't?
The right Medicare reforms can help more seniors get prescription coverage, but still let doctors decide what medicines are best, not government.
I don't want big government in my medicine cabinet.
The right reforms. Call now to learn more.
Announcing America's newest tire store, your Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealer. They have just the brand name tires for you. Tires designed and built for your Ford, Mercury, or Lincoln. All at competitive prices. Now the best place to get tires is from factory-trained technicians, the people who know your car best. Quality care service, the right people, the right parts, and always the right prices at participating Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers.
Have you ever had the sense that you were cut out for something else? Have you ever felt like you were doing all the right things, but in the wrong place? Maybe there's a better job out there. Something more you. And maybe it's time you talk to someone who could help you find it. A person who could be your career manager. Someone who knows the market. Someone who knows the shortcuts. Someone who's helped 350,000 people find something to look forward to at the start of a new day. A new day. To find the job you were meant for, talk to a career manager at Interim. Call 1-800-A-CAREER or visit acareer.com.
Okay, Bob Shapiro's. Howard says you don't have to do all these things you're doing. Go to see Sarno or read the book.
Well, I'm certainly going to read the book, and I take Howard's suggestion to heart. But I do believe that what has worked for me is this type of routine of being very careful, just on simple things. But
you have to make allowances for your life because of it, right?
Well, not allowances, just avoid stupid things. Before, when I'd go to the airport, I'd reach down and bend over and pull up a briefcase. That alone would trigger a reaction.
Now, Howard, you're saying he doesn't have to worry about that,
Larry,
right?
let me tell you, I was convinced that my back pain was a cause of doing squats in the gym, so I stopped doing squatting. When the pain persisted, I was sure that the pain was from sitting in this chair that I have at the radio station, so I had the chair switched. I had 1,000,001 reasons and 1,000,001 things that I couldn't do, just like Bob says, and you start to restrict yourself. I have a friend who went to Dr. Sarno who was a baseball player. He was told he could never play ball again. His back got worse when he got that diagnosis. He was told he needed an operation. He was about to go under the knife. Lo and behold, he heard about Dr. Sarno, went to see him. Within 2 weeks, no back pain, back playing baseball. In fact, Dr. Sarno will tell you that Bob Shapiro should be doing all of the things that he has stopped doing and enjoy them and have absolutely no worries. And I guarantee you that Bob Shapiro will never again have to worry about picking up a piece of luggage.
Dr. Sarno, address Bob. Is he dealing with misconceptions? I know you talk about misconceptions like don't bend, don't slouch, don't sit on soft chairs, don't arch your back, don't swim.
I'm sitting upside down right now.
John, can you say to Robert you could get him that he could bend over for his briefcase at the airport?
I can only speak in generalities. I know that many of the people that I see do come with the kinds of relatively minor abnormalities that he has. But I
minor,
certainly
you're
can't.
calling. They're minor.
Yeah, you see, I think that degenerative changes in the spine are normal. Everyone knows this. Some of these changes begin when we're teenagers, believe it or not. So that what has happened, I think, over the years is that because of unawareness of the existence of this stress-induced process, naturally doctors have attributed them to the abnormalities that they see in the spine on X-rays and MRI.
All right, Dr. O'Leary, would you back that up? Would you say that everyone has, in a way, a degenerative back?
Over time, yes. Our discs deteriorate over time for genetic reasons, age reasons, and stress factors as well. And the exact mechanism is not well understood. Most people get through their lives quite well without seeing doctors and go through the same degenerative process.
So when Bob Shapiro says he has a degenerative disc,
yes,
that's not unusual.
No, it's very common.
Larry.
Yeah.
I'm no doctor, obviously. And some people might think I'm a maniac. But think about it for a second. If you had a slipped disc, wouldn't it stand to reason that that disc would in fact cause you no back pain because it would cut off your nerve endings in that area and actually deaden the area? So there's absolutely sort of this ridiculous notion that a slipped disc, which probably all of us have, there's no reason why we should be experiencing back pain from it. I'm sure if you took an X-ray of my spine right now, I've got a slipped disc.
Yeah. Bob, are you open to this?
Oh, I'm very, very open to it. First, Larry, it should be very clear, I think you know this, and maybe some of the listeners and viewers know this, but I exercise vigorously. I work out.
You box?
I box 4 times a week in a professional gym, so my physical activity as far as exercise is not limited. What I am saying is I have found in the past that if I was pulling a piece of luggage out of the trunk of a car, no matter what great shape I'm in, that would cause me back pain, and I would be in a position where my back wouldn't straighten out for 2 or 3 weeks while it was healing. I know now just not to do that. That doesn't mean that I can't go in the gym and work out.
Jeanette, have you made allowances too, or have you
In the past, I did, and that's a very interesting point, I think, because if the point of the pain is to distract you from your life so you don't have to face what's happening, the more you change your life to accommodate the pain, the worse the pain gets, because it's working as a distraction. And that's definitely what happened to me, because all of this time I couldn't walk. I could, but I was hobbling. I had the ACE bandages. I was walking. It wasn't until last summer, 1 week into my 7-week vacation, my ankles hurt, so I was actually able to not walk at all. They hurt. I thought, best thing to do, tendonitis, I should stay off of them. Every day that I stayed off of them, every day that I changed my life and my life got narrower and narrower, the pain got worse and worse because it was working.
We'll ask, hold on, we'll come right back to Howard. We'll ask Dr. O'Leary who does need surgery. We'll come right back after this.
Used to be, if I want something done right, I called me. It worked. Until I tried to quit smoking. I needed more than me. I got Nicorette. Nicorette helped me 2 ways. I used it on a regular schedule to help prevent my cravings, and for unexpected cravings, I was ready with an extra piece. I used to be a slave to cigarettes. Nicorette helped me hang on, helped me win. Now that I'm nicotine-free, I gotta tell you, it feels good to win.
Now, Nicorette is available in mint. What a refreshing choice. You can do it. Nicorette can help.
Meet Bruce Miller. With the push of a button, he commands his legions. With Sky Reply from SkyTel, Bruce can choose from a list of responses to reply to messages and email right from his pager. Which means Bruce can handle almost any situation. Now introducing SkyTel 5. Get a message and respond, all for just 5 cents.
Hey, you know what's brown and black and looks good on a lawyer? A Doberman. I'm here all week.
Finding a lawyer is no joke. Lawyers.com makes it easy to find a lawyer with access to over 420,000 lawyers and firms. Check out our Ask a Lawyer section, even inquire about legal fees. All from the same source lawyers use to find other lawyers. Search and find a lawyer who's right for you with Lawyers.com.
You see, a Doberman is a dog.
We'll reintroduce our panel at the bottom of the hour. We'll go to your phone calls. Before Howard was going to say something before I asked Dr. O'Leary. Howard?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say to Bob again. This drives me crazy because I feel
Bob,
bad.
someday you'll hold up signs. Howard saved my life.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm trying to save Bob here. I don't know why, but it's a funny thing that a man says he can box 4 days a week, but he can't lift a piece of luggage. And all I'm saying
is... I can't lift it improperly.
Yeah. Right. But all I'm saying is there's no improper way of lifting a piece of luggage. I know that sounds crazy, but I've got to tell you, once I understood Dr. Sarno and what he was saying, but I apply this to every little ache and pain I get. The other day I had knee pain. I'm a runner, and I run a couple of miles a day. My knee started to hurt. I just looked at that knee pain, and I laughed at it, and I went out and ran 5 miles, and it was quickly gone. And literally, I know that to people who listen to this conversation, they're saying, oh, gee, this must be a placebo. This sounds like a cult or something. This is just, when you read this book, there is such medical evidence supporting Dr. John Sarno that I guess I kind of feel like, wow, this guy could really save the world. And I really feel that he's somebody who has come up with knowledge that should be hailed by the medical community, and it almost sickens me that the medical community doesn't embrace Dr. Sarno.
Well, Dr. O'Leary is, right? You are not declining the views of Dr. Sarno, right, Dr. O'Leary? Let's reiterate
Absolutely not. We're talking about the 10%, 5% of back problems who cannot respond to Dr. Sarno's treatment, who he himself knows quite well. They're not...
Who, Dr. O'Leary, would need surgery? What's the kind of case where a back has to be operated on?
Well, an absolute would be impending paralysis from pressure of the disc on the nerves that might affect movement of your legs, function of bowel and bladder, things of that nature, where there is severe sudden pressure from a massive disc herniation. That's one example. Another example would be somebody who's got increasing spinal stenosis and increasing pressure on the nerves from arthritis to a point where they cannot stand or walk more than 2 minutes.
Easily seen under X-ray.
Yes, with MRI scan or CAT scan would be readily visible. Initially, it can be handled by Dr. Sarno quite well, but then it reaches a point where the surgical factors take over and it becomes a surgical reality over time.
What, Dr. O'Leary, is a slip disc?
Well, a slip disc is a common language that's used for herniated disc, slip disc, protruded disc. It's when the disc that cushions the vertebrae, it gets displaced beyond its parameters, and it comes in varying degrees and sizes. Most of them are self-limiting and respond over time, and a few slip too far, and they harm the nerve and cause severe sciatic pain.
We'll take a break. I'll be right back, and we'll be back with more. We'll reintroduce our panel. We'll take your phone calls. This is Larry King live in Washington. Don't go away.
Tonight, topical but never typical. It's Whammy, news with an attitude. CNN and Entertainment Weekly. Tonight, 10 Pacific.
Relax your body. Free your mind. And soothe your spirit. Presenting Quiet Moods. Your escape to a relaxing world. Quiet Moods. More than 3 full hours of music that will lift you up and soothe your spirit on 3 CDs or cassettes. Discover the soothing world of Quiet Moods. Here's how to order.
To order Quiet Moods, call 1-800-306-5300 or send $24.99 for 3 cassettes or 3 CDs, plus $4.95 shipping and handling to the address on your screen.
The Moneyline News Hour, weeknight 6:30 Eastern. You are what you know.
Welcome back. Our show tonight is all about back pain and what to do about it. Our guests are in New York. Dr. John Sarno, professor of clinical rehabilitation medicine at New York University School of Medicine and author of the runaway bestseller, Healing Back Pain and the Mind-Body Prescription. Also in New York, Dr. Patrick O'Leary, spine surgeon with Cornell Medical Center and Lenox Hill Hospital. Here in Washington, Jeanette Barber, comedy producer of The Rosie O'Donnell Show. In Los Angeles, famed defense attorney Robert Shapiro. And with us by phone is the famous broadcaster Howard Stern, who was a victim of this. Jeanette, before we go to calls, Jeanette wanted to say something about moving.
Yes, it was what Howard had said about his knee. It was very interesting to me. It was pain-free from November till March. And then I was actually jogging here in Washington, fell down on my head. My hip started to hurt the next day. I'm thinking, oh, I must have hurt myself. 2 weeks later, it's still hurting. I'm limping. I called Dr. Sarno, and he said, oh, no, it just moved. I went back to him because I couldn't get rid of it. I went back to his lecture, sat through it. I limped in, walked out.
A lecture changed the movement?
Well, it reminded me of what it can be, because that's all that lecture is. As long as you believe that there's something wrong, when you believe, oh, I've hurt myself, then you're going to act like you've hurt yourself, and you're going to stop thinking about your whatever it is you're tense about, and you're going to think about the pain.
Dr. John Sarno, can you tell me what it is when Howard's knee hurt? What did he do? What did you teach him to do with regard to that knee that stopped it from hurting?
Well, you see, the idea is that he learned very, very well that these physical things were a reaction to some very strong emotions and feelings that were going on in his mind, in his unconscious mind. You see, that's the thing that makes this a little tricky. And so what he's learned to do whenever he gets a new pain is to recognize that this is probably the brain trying to bring back the old regime again, and he simply thinks about that, thinks about the emotional thing.
Larry, can I ask the doctors a question?
Sure.
From a layperson's point of view, is there such a thing as throwing your back out, that you just move wrong or lift something the wrong way and you immediately get a pain in the back that is debilitating or sometimes incapacitating?
Good question. We hear the term all the time. I threw my back out. Dr. Sarno.
Okay. Well, this is, of course, an extremely common phrase that many, many people use. What I've concluded is that they've not thrown anything out. Actually, it's virtually impossible to dislocate your spine. What I've concluded is that these people are having an acute onset of the disorder that I work with, and in which there's severe muscle spasm and so on. They can have a great deal of pain. So, no, I don't believe you can throw your back out. And I think Dr. O'Leary would agree with that, too.
Do you agree, Dr. O'Leary?
In general, yes. Most of these problems can best be handled by physiatry and rehabilitation, and generally do not come to the surgeon.
Howard? But you do get an injury as a result of it, don't you?
No, you don't. Hey, Larry.
All right, Howard, what if you have a real pain of something that's really wrong?
Well, you know what, I've had an issue with that, but remember one thing. Most of these aches and pains are exactly what Dr. Sarno points out, and you can tell. You actually can begin to tell. And you have to remember that the back industry is a $1 billion billions of dollars industry.
You mean in pills?
Pills, doctors, chiropractors, all of that can be thrown out the window. That's how revolutionary this all is and how important it is. I just believe that Dr. Sarno, he's going to blush when I say this, is a saint. And what I mean by that is he has come up with something so revolutionary. His thought process is so unique that really what he's talking about is doing away with all of these psychosomatic problems. And in this book, you can actually read the book and get rid of your problems. It's amazing. That billion-dollar industry becomes nothing.
Is there something more beyond psychosomatic where you actually have some type of injury, not in the lay terms that you've actually thrown your spine out of dislocation?
Dr. Sarno, you can hurt your back, can't
Well,
you?
of course
you can fall down. You could be tackled in a football game and hurt your back.
Well, of course you can. And the injuries are very, very common, particularly in sports. But when a patient of mine that's been through the program develops something new, I say, give me a call and tell me about it. If I think you need to see an orthopedist, I'll send you to an orthopedist. If I think it's probably another manifestation of the same thing, then I'll tell you that.
New York City, as we go to some calls. Hello.
Hi. I have been diagnosed with stenosis of the spine along with several herniated discs. How can Dr. Sarno's method of therapy actually help this condition?
Might this be a case, Dr. Sarno, that Dr. O'Leary would have to help?
Certainly. What one has to determine is whether the stenosis and the discs are causing a problem that needs to be addressed surgically, or whether, if the discs abnormalities are minor, the patient could be having the tension myositis syndrome, but the pain is being attributed to the structure. But these things have to be studied. They can't be answered arbitrarily.
Did anyone ever recommend surgery to you, Jeanette?
Yes.
Howard, were you ever recommended surgery?
Yes, I was.
State College, Pennsylvania, hello.
Hello, how are you tonight?
Hi.
I have scar tissue and nerve damage from disc surgery. I understand that Dr. Sarno screens out his patients for his 90 to 95% success rate. Would I fall in that category, since I know I'm in daily pain and it's not in my head?
Doctor?
Yeah, she's absolutely right. I do carefully select my patients. I talk to them beforehand. I try to get some idea of what their history has been, and particularly whether they're open to the possibility that stress is causing the symptoms. So again, these are very, very individual things. You can't answer a question like that arbitrarily.
I'm going to tell you something, Larry. When I first heard about this, people told me about it. I figured they're insane because I thought my pain was real. What do they mean the pain is in your head? Yes, the pain is real. Your brain is causing your back to hurt. And even with these severe diagnosis, the fact of the matter is that sends people into more pain. They get scared and they start to believe.
Well, the pain is real and the trigger is emotional. Right. That's the difference.
Yeah. Dr. O'Leary, is spine surgery often successful?
I think if the cases are carefully selected, properly evaluated, well screened, for the patients who need surgery, the surgery will be very successful in most cases, 85 to 95% of cases.
Dr. O'Leary, are a lot of people having surgery who don't need it?
I hope not. I think that there are certain areas where surgery is an option for care. For example, a slip disc may be operated upon. It can also be treated without surgery over a longer period of time. Sometimes patients, because of schedules and business demands, will ask for a quick fix. The surgery can often relieve the pain very promptly within 1 or 2 days, and then the healing process for a month or two afterwards. Whereas the conservative treatment may work over 6 months to a year, but can work just as well over time.
Does any back pill work?
Yes.
Depending on the degree of pain and what the condition is.
Exactly.
We'll take a break and be back with more phone calls and more of our guests. Don't go away.
I have a dream.
My first priority.
I'm trying to learn how to program better.
I really believe the computer is going to affect life in the next, 10 centuries more than any other device. Maybe even in the next millennium, computers will become intelligent, self-aware objects.
As
computing technology gets cheaper and cheaper, we'll tend to put it in devices that we use every day. We'll still think of them as cars and lawnmowers and, you know, your telephone. It's just, it'll be a computer. The really exciting part about it is that most of those devices will probably talk to each other. And that's the thing that we never would have anticipated before.
1 gig hard drive.
To have a home that's filled with intelligent devices that seek each other out and tell each other about their state and do I need paper or do I need to be recharged. And of course then plot against you and take control of your life.
They'll improve a lot quicker than we improve. And it seems to me, therefore, they're actually the future of our own evolution. The next stage of human evolution may be integrating ourselves with computers.
Computers are never going to replace human beings for innovation. Their thinking is different from human being thinking. It's very mechanical. Human being thinking is very innovative. If you combine the two, you get the strengths of both.
This Voices of the Millennium is brought to you by Sir Speedy. For outstanding printing, copying, and digital services, call Sir Speedy.
It's time for the world to go to work. A brochure is emailed to Sir Speedy for printing, a manual for electronic copying, a report for output. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, people down the street, across the country, and around the world use the internet to do business with the Sir Speedy Global Digital Network. If hundreds of thousands of businesses trust Sir Speedy, chances are we can handle your documents. Call Sir Speedy, the Printing, Copying Digital Network.
With AT&T, there are so many ways to communicate, and now, one powerful way to control it all. Introducing AT&T Personal Network, now with AT&T Online Customer Service. Sign up at att.com to bring together your calling card calls, wireless calls, and long-distance calls from home for just 10 cents a minute. And with AT&T Online Customer Service, you're in control of every part of your AT&T account online. Get AT&T Personal Network at the power of E. Sign up at att.com or call.
This is an ad for LoanWorks. We make home loans. The names and numbers on your screen are those of our competition. Some might say we're insane. Well, we're so confident that our rates are the best, we're willing to take this risk. So shop around and then give us a call. We're quite sure you'll agree with our logic. We're LoanWorks, a home lender on a mission. Bureaucracy, beware. Now you can lock in a rate this low on the phone or online in only a few minutes.
Test your investing IQ. Is A better? Or B? Fine. Next question. Do you prefer A or B? If you selected B, you might be interested in Unlimited Advantage from Merrill Lynch. For a simple annual fee, you get the tools you need to help you achieve your financial goals. After all, when you succeed, we succeed.
We're back. Fort Lauderdale, hello.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I have rheumatoid arthritis, and it's extremely painful. And I'd like to know if Dr. Sarno's distraction therapy would work for my disease.
Doctor is shaking his head no.
No, rheumatoid arthritis is a totally different kind of thing. There are structural changes in the joints, and this is not the kind of thing that we deal with at all.
Northamptonshire, England, hello.
Hello. I've had chronic pain in my back for about 8 months. I've had an MRI scan, and it revealed a disc sitting on my sciatic nerve. I'm on a strong pain-killing drug, and I'm now awaiting surgery. I just wondered if the doctors, the alternative
It's hard to
therapy
describe
would
on the
work.
phone, but Dr. O'Leary, do you know what she has?
Yes, I do. I think she has a herniated disc. It's compressing her sciatic nerve, and if it's been 8 months, probably will not respond to conservative treatment. And our surgeons in London or England are perhaps wisely recommending surgery for her in this circumstance.
Jeanette, did you get to the point where you get mad at doctors?
I was livid before I finally got to Dr. Sarno, because I went to so many doctors. I spent tens of thousands of dollars, orthopedists, acupuncture, acupressure, a Chinese herbalist. I went to a faith healer. I did everything imaginable. And I did get a surgeon recommended surgery. He said, I don't know if it'll fix the pain. I said, well, what can I do other than that? He said, absolutely nothing. And I went around telling my friends, the guy needs a boat.
Howard, did you see a lot of people?
Yeah, I went through the mill. I was into every kind of therapy possible, and even listening to that last caller, I want to almost just reach out and say to her, please read Dr. Sarno's book. There is no reason for her to go under the knife. That was suggested to me. I tried every therapy, and let me tell you, pills and chiropractors, they work for a while. Even back surgery seems to be a placebo and works for a while, but the pain returns, which obviously indicates that this is a problem that deals with the mind and nothing more.
Do you ever go to bed at night fearing you're going to have it the next day, Howard?
Never. I never fear it anymore. In fact, I now have such a full life. I'm so athletic now. I do everything that I never used to do. I sit in any kind of chair. I slump over. It doesn't make a difference. You know, Larry, I always thought my problem was that I was so tall and that perhaps there was a spinal defect. And you can find a doctor to tell you that there is a spinal defect. This is such a miracle that I can literally do anything now.
What do you think Dr. Goldstein, Bob Shapiro, would say about Dr. Sarno?
Well, I think he probably would endorse him greatly. He's a very open-minded doctor who takes a very conservative approach towards surgery, but when essential, he is certainly one of the best surgeons
So he wouldn't say
America.
to you, don't read the book.
Oh, I don't think so at all. I think a lot of these things are precisely what he would believe in. I have another question that I'm curious about for the panel, Larry, and that is whether there are certain things of manipulating the spine, an adjustment that a chiropractor would do. Do parts of the spine go out of whack or out of alignment, and can they be placed back by manipulation into alignment?
All chiropractors say that. Can they, Dr. Sarno?
Well, in my experience, dislocations in the spine have got to be very, very difficult. The spine is very well put together, very well engineered, and I personally do not believe that
it works.
That dislocations occur. I think, however, that chiropractors do help people through their manipulations. Whatever the reason is, I'm not sure.
Well, what does the manipulation do, doctor, when they crack your back and you hear
well,
that
I think
pop?
what you're hearing are the joint noises when one spinal bone moves on another. I think that's essentially what you're hearing.
Is something going back in place when
No,
that
I don't
happens?
think anything's out of place to begin.
Dr. O'Leary, what do you think of the chiropractic approach to the spine?
Well, I think that a lot of people are helped by chiropractors who are in the non-surgical category. And it's a question of not fully understanding the mechanism, but being aware that it works. And if it works, we allow it to work. I think the chiropractors recognize also there are tumors, there are fractures, there are other conditions which they would not manipulate. But back going out is often managed by a chiropractor successfully.
Howard, doesn't it feel good when you went to a chiropractor and you heard that little crack?
Yeah, it sounds great, and you know what? It's a great little Band-Aid. It works. I think anybody who goes to chiropractors knows this to be true. You go, and for about an hour or two after you go, sometimes a day, you feel okay. And I even joined something called the Alexander technique, which was supposed to teach me how to straighten out my spine as if my spine wasn't straight. And I would go for hours and practice this technique, and lo and behold, I would leave, and I would feel better for a couple of hours. What Dr. Sarno is talking about is a permanent solution.
Yeah, you made that clear. We'll be right back with more. Don't go away.
Power problems affect you. They can attack your PC up to 120 times per month and will strike without warning. APC's legendary reliability combines world-class surge suppression with instant battery backup to bring uninterruptible power to your desktop. To find out more about protecting your PC, visit www.iwantapc.com. APC. Starting at $99, it's power protection that pays for itself in seconds.
You're looking at someone who just bought a home with no down payment. How? He called Ditech.com and borrowed 125% of the purchase price. With your good credit, you too can finance up to $500,000 with no down payment. Use the extra cash to pay closing costs, pay off bills, or buy new furniture. Buy a home of your own with no down payment. Call Ditech.com at 1-800-71-FIXED for the 125 Dream Loan today.
Posted pop-up notes pop up one at a time from the new dispenser. Now you'll always know where your Post-it notes are. So you won't go nuts looking for nuts. Post-it pop-up notes. What did you ever do without them? Another 3M innovation.
Sunday on CNN Perspectives. For over 4 months in Lima, Peru, terrorists held dozens of people hostage inside the residence of the Japanese ambassador. While the world waited for a peaceful resolution, Peru's president, Alberto Fujimori, was making other plans. Now, the untold story of what went on behind the scenes during the hostage crisis in Peru. Endgame, CNN Perspectives, Sunday 9 Eastern on CNN.
We have verified this, so we have a patient of Dr. O'Leary's from New York. Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm a patient of Dr. O'Leary's. I've been in excruciating pain for 4 years. I had 2 disectomies that did absolutely nothing for me, and the pain continued to be absolutely debilitating. I finally made my way to Dr. O'Leary after years of doctors telling me that all the pain was in my head and that there was nothing wrong with my back. And as Dr. O'Leary will tell you, what they found in my back was something so extraordinary.
Okay, Dr. O'Leary, can the reverse happen? Can you be told it's the mind and it's not?
Correct.
All right, and Dr. Sarno, would you agree with that?
I certainly would.
So in other words, there are cases where someone is told it's the mind and it's not the mind?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is, Dr. O'Leary, spinal fusion and pedicle screws? You do that?
Yes, I think that's a hot topic. We've had major problems with FDA regulations. One of our famous spine surgeons of all America, Dr. Art Steffi, was hurt badly by strict regulations. He made tremendous research into pedicle screws and spinal fusions. He was a mentor of mine, still is, and he was undermined by a political process at one time with the FDA process.
You're a proponent of it?
Yes, it's a very, very important part of surgical care. It has to be done really well, and you have to be well trained to do it, and it should not be done by an inexperienced person, but it's a critical instrument in the management of spinal fusion problems.
Beaumont, Texas, hello.
Yes, I'd like to find out if the doctor has a suggestion for me. I've had 4 crushed vertebrae, which I have had no injury from, numbness, electricity, and pain in my legs, chronic. I've got fibromyalgia.
Dr. Sarno, it's very hard to diagnose on the phone. From what you hear, can that woman help by your book?
Well, I think that certainly someone, if they think there's a possibility that they might have this, that they should read the book. They certainly will get a clear idea as to what this is, and then they can determine whether this might apply to them or not.
I want to take a break. When we come back, we'll get a closing thought from each of our guests right after this.
For over 70 years, our business has been helping generations of families live a better life. With retirement plans, life insurance, consumer loans. We're American General Financial Group. 50,000 men and women, over $100 billion in assets, helping over 12 million people live the life they've imagined. American General Financial Group. Live the life you've imagined.
Some killers leave fingerprints, some DNA. This one leaves a signature, but only one man can read it. The Devil's Teardrop by best-selling author Jeffrey Deaver. One clue, one chance for survival.
My brother's son said he had an idea that it'd make us rich.
That funny-looking kid said that.
Said we can use the internet.
The internet? We ain't selling books, we're selling feed, and we already sell every ranch in the county.
Harlan, you ever been outside the county? Well?
Give me a minute, I'm thinking.
Friday, in the crossfire, presidential hopeful Dan Quayle on the eve of the Iowa straw poll. He'll join Bill Press and Mary Madeline to discuss his campaign and the road to the White House. Friday, 7:30 Eastern on CNN.
We're in our remaining moments, and obviously we'll do more on this. Dr. O'Leary, are there malpractice suits in this profession?
Yes, sir.
A lot?
Yes.
People then complain that it didn't come out right.
Correct.
Is there a lot of controversy over the way methods are taught in this subject?
I think that the spine education is still in its infancy. I think it's a product of a stepchild of orthopedics, a stepchild of neurosurgery, and acquires its own dimension, its own specialty, with 5 years of basic training in spine. And all the different practitioners should have some common educational process as well, so we can talk to each other in a civil manner, understand who does what the best.
Howard Stern, all the years I've known you, finally, I've never heard you rave about someone like this.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty cynical, and the only thought that I would have is that when I hear each caller call in and describe their condition, they're thinking, well, Dr. Sarno's theories don't apply to me. I'm the one person. It's different. My pain is not in my head. I suggest that this book is for everyone, and that more people need to read this, and I wish the government would support some sort of research with Dr. Sarno's materials, and really just change the way people look at back pain.
Jeanette, you are mostly pain-free?
I am mostly pain-free, and I think there's actually a little gift involved if you happen to have TMS, and I do believe that there are tens of thousands of people in unnecessary pain that can be taken care of with this. But the gift of it is that once in a while I'll get it back. I'll get it in the hip, I'll get it in the elbow the other day because I had to go back to work after vacation. I don't know if it was because, but it coincides. But the gift is that it's a little warning sign. It goes bing, 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 bing. You're not handling your stress. And we know, and scientists, they'll tell you that stress can kill. This, for those of us that have it, we get the hello.
Now, Robert, you accept the fact that it is stress-oriented for you,
Oh,
right?
I don't think there's any question that stress not only plays havoc with your back, but certainly with your stomach, with your throat, and many other things. But I can tell you from my own experience, Larry, I'm feeling much better because I got to sit in your chair tonight.
Right, the chair is comfortable.
Absolutely, it's perfect.
But see, Howard never has an uncomfortable chair anymore. You had to have a special chair in the courtroom.
Special chair in the courtroom, and I think it was a savior for me.
Dr. Sarno, you, I don't know how you handle all these accolades that you're getting here tonight. It must feel pretty good to know that you've helped so many people. Are you continuing to write on this subject? Any more books coming?
Yes, I am.
8 years old. It's on the New York Times list.
Yeah, yes, I am. I'm working on a book now, which really I intend for professionals. It's going to have to do with all the details of the psychology of these things. I don't always agree with everything Howard says, but he said something very important a moment ago. These problems should be studied by academic medicine at the highest levels in order to determine exactly what is going on and why. As long as there are just practitioners like myself who are having experiences, this is fine. But I think these problems have to be studied so that the information can be spread abroad to all doctors who treat these problems.
Dr. O'Leary, federal government, National Institutes of Health, we spend a lot on back pain? Do we?
We spend enormously on back pain, and I do think that we can do a lot more, a lot better. I think we need to examine carefully how we're dealing with this and categorize the patients to surgical and non-surgical, and in the surgical realm, have highly qualified surgeons, well-trained, doing an excellent operation.
How many people would you guess in the United States have back pain?
Millions. Millions, of course.
In the millions?
Yes.
I thank you all very much. Thanks, Howard, for staying the hour. I know you weren't feeling well. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Dr. O'Leary and Jeanette and Robert Shapiro and, of course, Dr. John Sarno, thank you all as well. Tomorrow night, Sable will be here, and also Goldberg. And if you're into wrestling, you know what I'm talking about. Thanks for joining us, and good night.
Tonight, topical but never typical. It's Whammy, news with an attitude. CNN and Entertainment Weekly. Tonight, 10 Pacific.
I just want to celebrate, yeah, yeah. The right tools make the job that much easier. So celebrate a job well done in a new Ford F-150. Now, during the Ford authorized clearance, get 4.9% financing on every 99 F-150 in stock, including the Super Cab with 4-door standard. F-150, built Ford tough. I just want to celebrate. Celebrate the move up to F-150. Now, during the Ford authorized clearance at your Atlanta area Ford store.
Don't waste time downloading. Get Total Web, blazingly fast internet access through the same high bandwidth cable that brings you Total TV. With Total Web's cable modem, you can download complex graphics, sound, and movie files in seconds. Surf from site to site as quickly as changing channels. Call now to get unlimited access to the World Wide Web. Total Web, the smarter, faster way to surf.
The Scott Antique Market is this weekend. We've added Atlanta Exposition Center's awesome new adjacent facility, making the Scott Antique Market more than twice the size with 2,400 exhibitor booths full of antiques and collectibles. This weekend is a treasure hunter's paradise. Decorate your home with investment quality antiques while adding to your family heirlooms. Scott Antique Market is the second weekend of every month, located 3 miles east of Atlanta Airport on I-285, exit 40 Jonesboro Road. Admission is $3 for both facilities all weekend. Children under 12 are free. Don't miss the most massive antique event ever held in the southeastern United States.
Some credit cards set an interest rate based on an average. They don't care who you are. In this city, our cards care. You're